This story takes us back to medieval England, just west of a quiet beachside town named Dawlish. A small respite by the name of Lidwell Chapel lurks in the distance. Covered by thick forest, this now ruined place of worship was once a sacred place travelers used to rest for the night. Exhausted from their journey, townsfolk taking the route from Teignmouth to Exeter often came across the isolated chapel in this remote forest. Despite trepidations about the quaint building and somewhat inhospitable habitat, venturers' minds were put at ease with the warm welcoming bestowed upon them by the resident monk, Robert de Middlecote. On a rainy evening, two travelers exhausted from their journey would find themselves in this exact scenario. With sunlight diminishing by the minute, tired eyes began, and camp was essential. With the thought of another freezing, wet night ahead, the two travelers looked at each other with sorrow. However, a slight flicker of light could be seen on top a darkened hill in the distance. Without hesitation, and with the rain becoming heavier, the two quickly gathered their bags and headed straight for the mesmerizing glow. Within an hour, the two reached the isolated light, now seen protruding from a small chapel. With hope of potential refuge from the worsening weather, the two approached the chapel with optimism. As they near the front door, the heat from the window hits the weary travelers, an open fire roaring away with a pot of stew boiling on top. Without thought, the two knock on the front door. As a few seconds passed by, no noise can be heard. However, within an instant, the door flies open, revealing an older man in a cloak filling the doorway. Discussions between the two parties are had. However, not long into the conversation, the two travelers are welcomed in and met with a warm embrace of food and dry clothes. The two are comforted by the hospitality of the hermit monk, and with a stomach full of food and wine, the two are shown their sleeping quarters for the night, a small room adjacent to the kitchen. As soon as their heads hit the pillow, they were out like a light. However, they would never awake again. Unknown to the travelers, their food was laced with a herbal sleeping medicine. Once their bodies were fast asleep, the monk sifted through their bags and stole anything of value. And when the stolen goods were secure, the monk grabbed a knife from the kitchen, and whilst the travelers were still asleep, slit their throats, killing them in cold blood. Death came quickly for the two. No sooner, as all life had left their bodies, the monk dragged the two corpses outside into freezing rain. Once outside, he managed to fling each body over the top of a stone-walled well situated directly behind the chapel. A haunting thud echoed from atop the hill as both bodies hit the bottom of the well. The monk was never found or trialed for his wickedness. Instead, a mist of fear dwelled over the local towns for years, not knowing who or where the killer may lie. That's all for today. Thank you for joining us for Top Insight's True Tales.